Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm the Vice President of Digital Trust at DigiCert, a global leader in digital trust. I'm excited to be with you today to do a 10-minute take on a very important security topic today, which is software security. All of us know that software is currently eating the world. It is showing up everywhere. It's funny, I was out riding my mountain bike recently, and my bike now has a software component that communicates with a mobile app and communicates the battery level of the gear shifters on my bike. Software literally is everywhere, and it's becoming very much a part of our everyday life. Because of that, the importance of software security is so critical. Today, I'd like to talk about three absolutely essential components of security when it comes to software. And those are, the first is knowing what is included in a software build. The second is signing the software. And the third is attesting to the integrity of a software build. And I'd like to talk about each of these. Knowing what is in your software is absolutely critical. A lot of people, in talking about software vulnerabilities, we refer to the SolarWinds attack of several years ago. Now, SolarWinds was a really interesting attack because they actually used a valid code signing certificate to sign that software package before it was deployed to their customers. Now, the problem is they did not do appropriate vulnerability scanning to detect that that package actually had malware. Because of that, malware was included in the package. It was signed as trusted, and then it was deployed to tens of thousands of their customers. And we all know the results of that. So knowing what is part of your software build is so critical, and it is the first step that organizations need to take seriously. The second one is actually signing your software. Now, when it comes to software signing, there are a handful of areas where we see organizations make mistakes, and it's not in the actual signing. I like to call it the processes around signing is where organizations get into trouble. For example, I just talked about SolarWinds. If you don't do appropriate vulnerability scanning before you sign, you're setting yourself up for problems because you can sign a package with vulnerabilities. So it's important to know and to do robust vulnerability scanning before any signing takes place. The second critical component for software signing is the protection of the keys and then the proper rotation. Believe it or not, we still see organizations today that are using USB tokens to store signing keys or laptops. Those keys have to be protected in proper hardware. And then the other one is to use appropriate key rotation and not using the same key to sign all of your files. In a compromise, if you've done that, all of the code that's been developed in your organization or that's been signed by that key is compromised. And because of that, we always encourage frequent key rotation. The third component that is important or process where we see organizations get in trouble is around rights management and access control. I like to ask organizations, do you know who has the right to sign? Are you able to dictate what types of files they have access to sign? And what about when an employee leaves? Do you have the ability to revoke those credentials in seamless ways so that you can mitigate any future problems with them continuing to use those keys? Rights management and access control is absolutely critical when it comes to software signing. And the final one, I talk to security leaders all the time that say, hey, we have security policies. And I said, well, how do you enforce those? We have the governance, we have the policies, but they don't have technology to enforce. And so central governance is not just about defining the policies, but it's about being able to enforce them. Being able to enforce who has the ability to buy signing tokens, who has the right to sign, when is revocation appropriate, and having all of those policies defined, but then having them enforceable through your technology. Now, the final of the three critical approaches is the ability to attest software integrity. Now, this is a more recent innovation in software security, and tools like software bill of materials or SBOMs are commonly being used to do this. Now, what an SBOM is it's an ingredient list of the software that is included in a bill. It highlights any known vulnerabilities. It highlights what's been done to mitigate those vulnerabilities. And it gives the end user or the purchaser of that software confidence that that software package can be trusted. And so attesting to software integrity is the third and final and very critical thing that organizations need to become better at doing. We hear a lot of customers today, even DigiCert, when we buy software, we request a software bill of materials to assure that what we are buying, we're familiar with the ingredients and we know that that software can be trusted. Now, moving into how do you do this? DigiCert has a world-class solution called Software Trust Manager, and it allows organizations to address those three critical components of software security from one centralized platform. It brings best-in-class vulnerability scanning, best-in-class software signing, and best-in-class software bill of materials tools to allow you to do all three of those. When organizations implement Software Trust Manager, they can have confidence that they have centralized governance and control of all of their signing processes. They have the ability to dictate who has access to sign, who can purchase code signing certificates, and who has the ability to execute in any of those practices. It also gives them built-in vulnerability scanning from the same platform. And from that vulnerability scanning, you can then create a software bill of materials or an SBOM file that can be shared with the customers purchasing your software. Having those integrated into the same platform as our code signing has been a game changer for many of our organizations who are looking to simplify and streamline their processes. Vendor simplification is another great benefit of our Software Trust Manager because many organizations are using 3 to 5, even more vendors to do all of these practices. And we bring all of these into one central platform, Software Trust Manager. The Software Trust Manager, another key benefit of this is the ability to set specific and custom policies for your organization and then to implement those into the technology. Once you've done that, anyone in your organization who tries to operate outside of those policies will not have the ability to do that. Any unauthorized practice is grayed out and is prevented within Software Trust Manager. Finally, software signing and these practices have to integrate seamlessly into any CI/CD pipeline and workflow. And DigiCert has made great links to integrate with all of the common tools that are being used by software development organizations across the globe to make it that this tool can implement and integrate seamlessly into your workflow to make adoption, integration, access very simple. The last thing I'll say about this is security really matters. And we've had organizations over the years that have been reluctant to send, because this is a software and a cloud-based platform, we have organizations who are reluctant to send code to the cloud to be signed. Our Software Trust Manager actually uses what's known as a hash-based signing, where we take a hash of the code before it's sent to the cloud. It's very fast, very efficient. That hash is signed and then sent back, ensuring the integrity of that package. I'm confident that this Software Trust Manager is one of the best platforms on the market to help software development organizations get an enterprise level solution that helps them do vulnerability scanning, software signing in the right way, and then also be able to effectively attest to the integrity of that code. Thank you so much for tuning into this quick chat on the importance of software security. If anything that I've mentioned to you today is something you're struggling with, or if you have more questions about how Software Trust Manager might help you get control of your software practices within your organization, please feel free to reach out to us, and we would be more than happy to engage and help you get your fingers on this great tool that I am confident will bring greater security to your software practices. Thanks so much.